So if you're a technical service provider, electrical contractor, electrician, heating, gas, plumbing engineer, HVAC technician, or smart home automation installer, I've got something that can increase your profitability by up to 500%. Let me show you.
Okay, let me introduce you to Control System Specialist. I am extremely excited to share this with you. This has been a project that I've been working on for over 2 years, and now it is complete and it's ready to introduce to the world. And I'd like to tell you what it's all about. So Control System Specialist is a collection of systems that enables technical service businesses to firstly scale in controls, automation, smart home and BMS, increasing profits by up to 500% in 6 months. So from going from 5 to 10% net margins to over 25% net margins, which I know some technical service businesses are sitting at the moment with the way the industry is at. And also, if we don't do this for you, we don't help you get to this point, then we will give you your money back. We have a money back guarantee. If this doesn't work, we'll give you the money back, and 6 months worth of our services absolutely free. That's how confident we are in what we do. Now, to introduce you to some problems that we've seen over the years with technical service businesses who kind of want to get into this industry of controls, automation, smart home and BMS. And the big problems are, firstly, that they're not able to capture the full project pie. So maybe they can do installation, maybe they can do panel building, maybe they can do some design work, maybe they can do some programming, but they can't do all of it end to end, start to finish, which means that they have to sub out some of this work to other expensive specialist contractors that obviously charge a premium, charge a markup a lot of the time, and that prevents businesses and self-employed contractors capturing that themselves, so losing profit. Also, what we've seen is engineers, so businesses that have teams of engineers, their engineers are all at different levels. And what happens is, and this is quite a deep subject, so I'll keep it quite brief, but it creates bottlenecks because you've got different engineers at different levels. So you've got to rely on this engineer to do this and this engineer to do that. And it creates bottlenecks, massive bottlenecks in efficiency and productivity. But in some cases, it also means that there's knowledge hoarding going on. And some certain people, they like hoarding this knowledge over other employees, even over like owners of the business. And it's almost like they have control, and they're almost holding the business owners ransom to their knowledge, because the business owner doesn't want to get rid of them because they're valuable and they've got all this knowledge, but they're kind of tied to them. They'd like to, but they can't afford to. So they have this control. So that's one massive problem that we see. Another thing with businesses, with teams or trying to build engineering teams, is there's this massive skill shortage. Certainly when it comes to controls, automation, smart home and BMS, there's just a massive skill shortage. So they really struggle to find good engineers at a competent, confident level. Another thing, business owners, when they have like micro businesses, small businesses, under 10 people, they usually don't have the resources, so in terms of time and energy, to provide support in-house to their engineers, to enable them to keep learning, keep developing, to be able to become more knowledgeable, confident, to take on more responsibility. It's just, they're doing so many different things. I'm a small business owner. I completely understand what it's like. You've got so many things on your plate. You're spinning so many different plates and you're trying to balance it all. And this is one of the things that falls by the wayside, where there's just not enough time or energy to provide this support and training to their engineers. And then finally, and this is another massive one, I think the industry that we're in is just behind when it comes to doing things in the 21st century, in this digital age. So they don't know how to scale their businesses using modern methods. So those are the key problems that we see, and this is what we help businesses and self-employed contractors with when it comes to control system specialists. So how we solve them: firstly, knowledge, understanding and confidence in project delivery. So that's step-by-step project delivery systems, so systems that you can take out of what we have and literally plug it into what you have. It's all been done for you. So systems going from specifying, design, documentation, panel building, testing, commissioning, and basically installation and on-site handover to the client. Like, we solve that. We show you how to do that step by step. Also upskilling new and existing engineers all to the same technical level, all at a baseline where maybe you have some specialist skill set, like one of our clients, Dean. He focuses specifically on service and maintenance of crane solutions. So maybe we help you get up to this level and then you would just build on top of that. But all of your engineers have got that baseline technical level and understanding, mitigating that knowledge hoarding. Also hiring strategies to quickly bridge the skills shortage gap, because there's ways of doing this. So, and we know those methods and those strategies to quickly bridge that skill shortage, to get new existing engineers up to speed, but also get new people who've got no previous experience of controls, automation, BMS, getting them up to speed quickly. Also enabling you to just outsource technical training and support for your engineering team, freeing up your time and energy. We just take care of that. And then specifically business models for this industry. So for controls, automation, smart home and BMS that are easily scalable using digital methods. This is the beauty of the world that we live in at the moment with the internet. We can digitize everything, which makes scaling so much easier because you don't have to necessarily be there in person. You can use loads of different automations and it's very, very efficient. It's very, very profitable, but it's obviously knowing how to do that and what those methods and strategies and business models look like. So who is this for? This is specifically for self-employed contractors, entrepreneurs, business owners, and then businesses with teams of engineers who are electrical contractors or electricians, heating, gas and plumbing engineers, HVAC technicians, smart home installers, and AV engineers. Now, there might be some additional mechanical, electrical, manufacturing, engineering businesses or contractors that we can also help, but these are the key people that we have helped, we know we can help, and are currently helping, and we know that we can help very well. It's not to say we can't help, some other technicians, engineers in similar fields. Now, this is really important. This is not for employees of these types of businesses or any other businesses. This is not for apprentices, and this is not for students or graduates. Sorry guys, what we have is not designed for you. This is designed for businesses, self-employed contractors and businesses. Now, moving on, what does this have to offer? And I've already covered it, but just to go into a little bit more detail, there's three core pillars that we focus on. Firstly is the technical, so confidence in electrical controls, automation, BMS and HVAC. Project delivery systems, so specifying, design, build, testing, commissioning, installation, etc. Then the second pillar is business growth, so profitable business models for the controls automation industry, proven scaling strategies, so project scaling and employee scaling. So building out teams, scaling teams in-house, but also like scaling your businesses, scaling workload projects, etc. And then finally, we have community support. So weekly group and one-on-one coaching sessions. And we've also got a thriving community of like-minded people growing their businesses. So I want to show you what that looks like inside. So this is Control System Specialist. And as you can see here, it's pretty self-explanatory, but this is our community of, where business owners, self-employed contractors are, as you can see, winning and progressing their careers and businesses, sharing knowledge, general discussions, having a bit of fun as well. The group coaching sessions, they happen every Wednesday at the moment. This is likely to change. This is likely to be expanded. But at the moment we have Q&A coaching sessions from 6 p.m. till 7 p.m. UK time. So this is where we answer any questions around technical, career, business. And we also hold workshops as well, specific workshops perhaps on PLC systems or lead generation practices, etc., etc. And what happens is if you don't or aren't able to make one of these sessions, you can always catch up and watch them in our classroom section, so under coaching call recordings. So we got all of them in there to catch up on. Now, just before we get into the meat of the program, what I was saying about community and like-minded people, we have a map of everyone within our program that you can connect with, you can find, all across the world. This isn't just, the UK or the US. This is all over the place. We're helping people all over the world. Now, into the meat of the training. So what I want to show, how we structure things in here is we first focus on the foundations. We then focus on the practical hands-on building and testing. And then we get into the specifying, the design, the documentation. And we do this in this order specifically because it makes sense for people who are new. Even though chronologically when you're delivering a project, you would start with the design, or you start with the specifying, you do the design, you do the documentation, then you do the panel build, testing, commissioning, programming. But what we've learned is it makes sense to actually have something tangible first that's understood, then we understand how and why the design and the specifying has been done that way. So we do that in this specific order because it's much better and it works. But just to give you an understanding of what this is all about. So we're focusing on a real world project here. This was brought to me by an electrical contractor who wanted help with the controls with this real world BMS school refurbishment project. So this is the project that we run through within this training, this program. Let me give you where's the functionality testing? There we go. So you can see it's very hands-on once this loads. It's very hands-on. It's very practical. It's very real world. It's not death by PowerPoint. This is not theoretical stuff that doesn't actually apply. As you can see, this is real world stuff. So, but first we develop that foundations, going through the project, how I learned controls, important principles like schematics, reading the manual, designers not always knowing best, red penning systems. We've got, as you can see, lots of supporting resources and documentation, relays and logic. And then what we do is we actually get into the schematic, the system, where we understand the field equipment, we go through the manuals together, then we go through the actual schematic, and you can see that we've got, or these are the resources that you'll have access to, the actual schematic, but then also images of the system that we are then building, testing, specifying, designing, documenting later on. We're already building up that picture in our head at this early stage of, what these symbols on a page actually translate to in terms of real world physical project. And then what we do is throughout the whole program is we are running scenarios. So this first one is relatively easy. So you get on site to commission a system and the client is requesting that you install an additional e-stop 20 meters away in the reception area. Your task is to modify the drawings to reflect this. So to modify these drawings here to reflect that. Now what this does, and these are real world scenarios that you're likely to encounter, some that I've actually encountered in the real world, because what this does is it gets you thinking like a controls engineer, like an automation engineer, like a BMS engineer, like a smart home engineer. This is not just testing if you can remember something up here, like most places do, and multiple choice. This is actually getting you thinking like a controls engineer, which is exactly what we want. So by the time you get through all of this and all of the technical, and you come to then develop your career or grow your business, you've got genuine confidence, real world genuine confidence that applies in the real world, that isn't theoretical. So really key part of our program are these scenarios. So then once that's done, then we move into the panel specialist, and you've already got a taste of that, but this is step-by-step project delivery. So from the build, absolutely everything step by step, no stone left unturned, like literally everything on how to take this system from a blank, empty shell of a panel to fully tested and ready to be installed on site. So yeah, absolutely everything there. And then a similar case with the specifying the design, the documentation, step by step, absolutely everything in order, how we take a project, create a specification and design and document all of it. And then also how to use CAD as well. So when you get to actually using CAD software like AutoCAD or Project CAD, this will get you up to speed really, really quickly. It took me about 6 months using CAD, maybe 3 times a week. It took me about 6 months to get to this level. You can get through all of this in about an hour. So yeah, just completely fast tracking your learning, but through the whole design, documentation, specification phase, but yeah, certainly the CAD phase as well. And we also have a design vault as well, so recommended manufacturers, suppliers, hardware lists, so massive like hardware, a spreadsheet full of hardware parts, components, softwares, online resources like calculators, just everything you need to be a competent design engineer. And then we go into business development and we go into career development as well here. So hopefully that gives you a taste of what it's like on the inside. Now I just want to run through some results that we've had for people already, and we've actually got absolutely loads of people here. I just want to go through, let's just go through 3 of them. So Howard Sanford at Stealth Controls, what we helped him and his team do is full project delivery, as I've mentioned. So he had to turn down 150K's worth of business before joining us because ultimately him and his team weren't confident in taking on full project delivery of BMS, HVAC and other control projects, which is fair enough. You shouldn't be taking on projects if you're not confident in delivering them to your clients and making sure that they get the best service and outcome that they paid for. But that's no longer the case with Howard. Next person, so Matt Range. So he's now able to just do everything in-house, similar to Howard, full project delivery. But what this meant for them is that they no longer had to sub out the controls to expensive specialist contractors, where they could then capture all of that markup that these contractors would be putting on from doing like panel builds, design, commissioning. They can now capture that in-house, that additional 50% markup. Dean Williams, Total Crane Solutions. So he runs a micro small business, I think around 10 people or under 10 people. All of his engineers are now at the same level. So he can send any of his engineers out to complicated site breakdowns, meaning that Dean doesn't have to concern himself with it, doesn't have to worry about it, just rely on his team to get on with it. So saving Dean's time, energy, and enabling him to charge them out at twice the normal rate. Just do one more. So Mo and Callum, absolutely love these guys. So within 7 weeks with Mo and 19 weeks with Callum, we got them up to high enough technical skill set and mindset, actually, when it comes to controls and BMS. So much so that they were able to land a role as BMS engineers at Equans, which is a huge BMS company in the UK. And yeah, they were taken on as BMS engineers in 7 weeks and 19 weeks with Equans. So ultimately, and I didn't say, these guys are domestic electricians. They're from a domestic electrician background, no previous experience with controls, BMS, automation. And yeah, within that time frame, we were able to get them up to speed and place them at Equans, enabling them to bridge that skill shortage gap, and have 2 good engineers, up to speed, ready to hit the ground running, very, very quickly. So those are a few results and outcomes that we've had for some of our clients. Now, if this sounds like something that could help you or your business, I'd like to encourage you to visit us at beautomation.co.uk/training, where you can read a little bit more about how we help. You can book a call on our calendar, although we might be quite busy. If you can't get through, just email us and we can arrange something. You can watch a load of video testimonials. You can visit us in Trustpilot and see that we got over 100 positive reviews. We got 5-star. And yeah, perhaps watch this short video as well, just explaining a bit more what we do and how we help. But yeah, that's how we can help you increase your profits by 500% in 6 months. And if we don't help you with that, we've got a money back guarantee where you can have obviously your money back, and you can have 6 months worth of our service absolutely free. And this is what takes people and businesses from 5% net margins to over 25% net margins. Net margins, bottom line profit. I'm not talking about gross profit, actually into your bank, what's left over after everything, the thing that's actually important. So yeah, that's how we help. Hopefully I've provided you enough information and made a good case in point for you to come and book a call and have a conversation with us. So look forward to speaking to you. Have a good day.